Hi everyone, welcome to this live on how to build resilience to the coronavirus. But we're not just talking about building resilience just to the coronavirus. This information is going to be helpful for all viruses and all infectious diseases. So during this session, we're going to be looking at 4 key points. So the first one being what nutrients are needed in order to prevent infection. We're then going to look at how to use food as medicine to boost our own immunity. And thirdly, what crucial things predispose us to infections. And finally, how you can tell if your system is compromised. So before we get started, I have done a presentation, but I haven't worked out how to share slides yet. Just a little bit above me at the moment. So I'm going to be keeping myself on track with just referring to the information that I've put together, just so that I can give you as much info. And so there is quite a lot of information, but hopefully you will take away the key things from here. And if you need any extra support, you can always get in touch with me on email or messenger, and we can have a chat afterwards as well. So before we get started on those key points, I thought it would be quite a good idea just to have a bit of a look at the immune system, just to see, do we understand it? Do we know where it is, what it does? And just thinking, if we have a better understanding of the immune system, then hopefully we will be in a stronger position to actually support it. So in simple terms then, the immune system is basically a collection of tissues that all work together to really resist infection. So what they do is they help an organism, i.e. us, to identify a pathogen, i.e. the coronavirus, and in doing so to get rid of it. So our immune system can detect pathogens, or should be able to detect pathogens, and we'll come on to the reasons why that isn't always the case, but they should be able to detect these pathogens. They should be able to identify what is a healthy cell and what is a not healthy cell, so i.e. an invader such as a virus or a bacteria or some other kind of pathogen that we want to get rid of out of the body. So we have our primary organs within the immune system. So they are where these cells, these defense cells, so T killer cells, where these guys are made. And that's in the bone marrow. We also have the thymus as part of the primary organs. And then these cells, where they go to do their work, will be in the secondary organs. So things like our tonsils, if we still have them, if they weren't whipped out when we were kids, then we will find the T cells there. Also in spleen and in all our lymph nodes throughout our bodies. And then other things like our mucous membranes of the bowel. So we have our helper cells in there. So these guys, they all work together, but what they work with is they work with the bacteria in our gut. So not everybody fully understands this. There's a lot of research, but we're still kind of like the tip of the iceberg. But approximately 80% of our immune system is housed within our gut, and this is a bacteria, that healthy bacteria. Gut flora, you might also know it as microbiome. The microbiome are what signal and communicate with our immune system to keep us healthy. So it's so important that we actually keep the bacteria in our guts really in tip-top condition. And we're going to come on to this in more detail. So I'll give you some information as to how we can do that. So probiotics is one way, and we can eat probiotic foods, which we'll come on to. A lot of people also take a probiotic. Now, if you do, I would recommend investing in a really good quality one, because cheap supermarket bought ones, Holland & Barrett's own brand, they're not much cop. I've wasted a lot of money on inferior products previously. We don't want to be doing that. We also don't want those awful probiotic drinks. They're just full of sugar. And sugar just feeds the bad bacteria, so that really is not what we want to be doing. We don't want to feed the bad bacteria. So what we want to be doing is really supporting with foods, which we're going to come on to. So the first stage in building resilience to infectious diseases is to have this complement of nutrients in our bodies. So the body works off vitamins and minerals. We need a full complement of vitamins and minerals that we get through our diet. But when we're talking about the immune system, the key ones for the immune system are vitamin C, which I'm sure you're all aware of. Hugely important. It actually upregulates these T killer cells. So vitally important for keeping the immune system in tip-top condition. We also have vitamin D. So vitamin D we get from the sun mainly. We can also get from some fish. It's a real important vitamin. It's actually a hormone, but to have in the body, I regularly test my clients, especially if they have underlying health conditions, for vitamin D, and put them on a protocol to get their levels up and running. We've also got then vitamin E being a powerful antioxidant, real key one for the immune system. And then we have zinc. So zinc really helps to bring a lot of balance to the immune system, and we know that when people are deficient in zinc, that their immune systems are more compromised, and we especially see this with young children and the elderly. Now the next one is selenium. So selenium, again, there's information out there that actually state that yes, our immune system is compromised when we don't have enough selenium in our diet or in our bodies, and we need to ingest it. So there is other information out there or research out there that would also suggest that if we are deficient in selenium, when we do get a virus, the virus actually can become a lot stronger. So it's really important that we have selenium in the diet. And then B12 and folate as well. So B12 and folate are needed if they are deficient. So if we're not deficient in B12 and folate, then we don't exactly need to put those in. But if we are, so B12, obviously if you're following a vegan diet, really important to supplement with that particular one. So these vitamins and minerals, they all work together collectively to help to bring balance to the immune system, to help to support it, and without them, we can become compromised. So where do we get them from? So vitamin C, really high in cherries. So I use the sour cherries. I actually get them frozen from, if you live anywhere near the Unicorn in Charlton, great place to get them from. I add them into my smoothies in the morning, along with avocado, and there's my vitamin E in there. And then I'll put some nuts and seeds in there. So again, vitamin E, we can get nuts and seeds, as well as other things. So fish, in some respects, will have vitamin E in there. Vitamin C, going back to vitamin C, so red peppers, green peppers, yellow peppers as well are all pretty high in vitamin C. Obviously oranges, we know, kiwi fruit, broccoli, and also there's some research out there that shows that sauerkraut, a cup of sauerkraut, and I think this is probably, I've not fully looked into the research on it, but I reckon it's going to be the homemade sauerkraut that's gone through that kind of like 6 weeks of getting all this healthy bacteria in there. But 1 cup, 700 milligrams of vitamin C. So our daily allowance is between 70 and 90 milligrams. So I never eat a cup of sauerkraut, but I'll put a couple of tablespoons with my meal. Living Foods, if you aren't into making your own, I often buy theirs if I'm waiting for a batch. They do a really great, I think it's called Ruby Kraut, which is, it's beetroot and red cabbage, and it's delicious. So you can order that. I think you can order it online. You don't actually have to go to the Unicorn for that one. Zinc, so zinc, we, again, nuts and seeds, we get that from fish as well, and some seafood. And then selenium, so the best source of selenium, or selenium, however you want to pronounce it, is Brazil nuts. You know, amazing amount in Brazil nuts, so I need to actually put them on my shopping list. And then B12 is from all our animal produce, so dairy, eggs, meat, fish, poultry. So if you're not obviously eating those products, then you need to look at supplementing. And folate we get from all our greens, so just a wide variety of greens that need to be in there. So other nutrients to consider alongside the essential vitamins and minerals, so things like garlic's amazing. I just made a dal the other day and it absolutely chucked tons of garlic in there, because I'm not going to be seeing anybody, so it doesn't matter if I stink. But garlic is just amazing. It's antibacterial, antiviral. It's just a powerhouse, so really get it in there. The best thing to do as well, the best way to prep it, is to actually crush it and leave it for 10 minutes. That allows the allicin to come out, and that's what's so protective for us. So natural garlic, ginger. The next one actually exerts some antibiotic properties, and it's a good anti-inflammatory. And then I have turmeric. So turmeric, one of my favourite herbs. Again, get the fresh root from the Unicorn in Charlton. I know there's avocado as well. And I bung all this in my smoothie in the morning. So I'm bunging in things like avocado, the turmeric, raw turmeric root, berries for all their antioxidant properties. I'm getting the nuts and seeds in there. So I'm getting all my zinc as well, and my vitamin E. So, in one kind of smoothie in the morning, I'm pretty much covering myself and helping to support my immune system, which is great. So yeah, turmeric, antiviral, antibacterial, anti-inflammatory as well. And then things like beta-glucans, if anyone's heard of beta-glucans and polysaccharides and other amazing compounds that we find in medicinal mushrooms. So I've been using mushrooms in my clinic for quite some time now, and they are phenomenal, and they exert antiviral effects. So we can't get any medicine when we have a virus, but what we can do is we can use certain things from nature that can actually help to support our system. And then we have things like adaptogenic herbs, so Siberian ginseng, ashwagandha. Now these indirectly affect the immune system because they help to reduce stress, and when we're stressed, we deplete our immune system. So they are great. We've also got echinacea, probably heard of echinacea, I would assume. Lots of evidence out there, different compounds actually within echinacea. So it does depend on the quality. Will help to support the immune system. We do a CBD oil, which is called Immune Boost, which funnily enough is our best seller at the moment. So we've only got a few left if anybody wants any. But this is working obviously on calming the system, so it helps for stress, but then it's also helping with the echinacea to support the immune system as well, so double whammy there. And then another one which I found really interesting, so I wasn't totally aware of how good this was, but I've been using it for quite a while, black cumin seed oil. So I get mine from Fuji Oils. I love their oils, they're so pure. And I love cumin, so I love the flavour, it's great for adding to curries. So it's just abundant antiviral, antibacterial properties. It's got a great complement of nutrients, so B1, B2, B3, it's got folate, it's got other minerals in there. No, it's got good amounts of iron and calcium, and then also has a good balance between omega-6 and 9, so that's a really good one to think about adding in your cupboard. And then moving on to the next stage, so how we could use food as medicine to boost immunity. So one way of doing it is juicing. I generally juice quite regularly. I won't say do it every day, but I go through good long phases of juicing. And why do we do it? Why? A lot of people will say, fibre is so good for us. Why are we not eating the fibre? I'm not saying that fibre isn't good for us. It's amazing. But when would you ever eat 5 carrots? But you juice them. And when you juice them, yeah, we extract the fibre, but what we're doing is we're getting a higher concentration of the beta-carotene and the other nutrients in there that we wouldn't typically get because we would never consume that amount. When we juice though, we want to be thinking about vegetables. So we don't want to be juicing tons of fruit, because when we do take the fruit away from the fibre, then that is what can really have a huge hit on our glucose levels, our blood sugar. And that's not good, because that chucks the body out of balance, and then that will compromise our immune system. So if you want some help or suggestions on juicing, then email me and I'll send you over some nice recipes. Fermented foods and drinks is another crucial way that we can support our immune system using food and medicine. So making your own sauerkraut, or buying them from, say, Loving Herbs or Loving Foods, I think they're called. Great way to support the immune system. Full of healthy bacteria, but full of vital nutrition as well. And then we have drinks like kefir, which you can buy the grains from a place called Happy Kombucha. They do excellent grains. You can make milk or water. So I don't have milk, so I do the water kefir, and it's gorgeous. It's dead easy to make. They ferment on the sugar, so they eat all the sugar up. You give them some fruit like lemons and ginger, and they just love it. And then you basically strain off the juice and you pop it. It's nice and fizzy, and it's just an amazing healthy drink that you can do really, really cheaply. And the kombucha, so I have both kefir and kombucha on a daily basis, is again for Happy Kombucha what we call a SCOBY, rather than grains. So it's this big embryotic looking like a placenta, and it feeds off the sugar and the green tea, and you make kombucha, and again you drink it. It helps to support healthy gut flora, helps to support liver, and in turn helps to support the immune system. Of all that, just feels like it's a little bit way out, like I'm not into juicing and I really don't want to get into fermented foods, and just increase your fruits and vegetables. So we want to be looking at between 7 and 8 portions of veg a day, and think of a rainbow. And then 2 to 3 fruits, but we want to be really thinking and concentrating more on berries and low sugar fruits like apples and pears, rather than the exotic mangoes and pineapples and bananas and things like that. So go easy on the exotics and have more of the low sugar berries, and just have a wide variety of vegetables and greens especially. So if you want to look at, say, a plate, half your plate would be fully packed with vegetables, and then a quarter of that veg would be your rainbow, and then the other quarter you want to get your greens. So we should be having greens with every meal, and I would just say vary, don't just stick with spinach. There's so much more variety out there. I actually have a 40 food chart. So 40 a week is a recommendation to help build this healthy gut microbiome. So if anyone wants a chart, again, just email me, I'll send it you over. It's a really good way just to keep track on how many different types of vegetables you're eating in a week, and a really great way to support overall gut flora, gut bacteria. And then also looking at, like, do we need supplements? I'm a huge supplement junkie. I just don't believe we get it in the soil. In fact, I know we don't get it in the soil anymore, regardless of whether I'm buying organic. It might have some more, but it doesn't have a huge amount. I use food state supplements, and I take them every single day. And I do believe that they really do help to support me. For people who don't know me, I genetically am very impaired. So I've had a long history of health issues before I turned to food as medicine, and helped to really kind of reset my system. So yeah, supplements are a big part of my life, and I am a big fan of them. So we're going to move on to stage 3. So what crucial things predispose us to infection? So age is one. And just bear with me, I'm going to have a sip of water because I'm getting a little dry throat. So age, they talk about age a lot, don't they? If you're 70 or God forbid 80, then that's it. Your numbers are up. But there'll be a hell of a lot of 70-year-olds out there that hands down will be in so much better health than the majority of 40 and 50-year-olds. So I think you have to take it in context. If you start to look after yourself in your 30s and 40s, and get to 70, you're going to be in a really strong position. So I don't think it's a one size fits all. Genetics is another thing. So, for example, people like me who have poor genetics, and what we can't do, obviously, we can't change our genetics, but what we can do is we can change what's called epigenetics, and that's our environment. So that's, if we're smoking, if we're drinking excessively, if we're, shoving sugar in our system all the time or eating crap, then, that's not a great environment for our genetics, and they will then be expressed. Autoimmunity would be another predisposing factor. Basically where the immune system goes crazy. It doesn't recognise self from non-self and basically attacks the tissues inside the body at different varying stages, dependent on what type of autoimmune condition the person has. We've also got chronic diseases, so any underlying health condition will predispose you to infection, so you need to be more aware of keeping yourself healthy. Compromised immune system, clearly that is going to predispose us. So thinking about people who have been recently on antibiotics or steroids or had a course of chemotherapy or radiation, those people will be immune compromised and need to really look at ways to support and enhance their immunity. And then finally, stress. Stress comes from all different angles. I've been under a huge amount of stress recently. One of the reasons why I think my system got compromised, well, I know it got compromised, but luckily nothing took huge hold of me because I was straight on it with my nutrition and my juicing and everything else to support my body. So how to tell now if your body is compromised? So the key one, number one, would be frequent colds and infections. So that's a surefire way to know that your system is compromised. Also, obviously, like we've said, if you've had recent antibiotics, chemotherapy, radiation, steroids, etc., if you have an underlying health condition, if you regularly feel stressed or suffer with anxiety as well, because that raises cortisol levels, and in doing so, that helps or really goes hand in hand with depleting our immune system. And the other thing is if you regularly have gut issues, because think about it, bacteria in the gut, if that's compromised through having issues with the gut, then it's not going to be at its healthiest, and that needs supporting. If you smoke and drink excessively and have a poor diet as well, then that's going to be one of the ways that you're going to know that your system is going to compromise, because through following an unhealthy lifestyle, you'll be depleted in vital nutrition. So to recap then, the healthy ways that we can help to support and build resilience towards infection. Number one would be don't smoke. Number two, eat a diet high in fruits and vegetables. So 7 to 8 veggies, 2 to 3 fruits. Think about variety. Think about 40 different ones every week. Also think about fresh herbs, live sprouts. So again, unicorn, I get live broccoli sprouts on there. They do other varieties as well. Just get them on your plate. Number 3 would be exercise regularly. You want to be looking at daily exercise, even if it's just a brisk walk. We need to get the heart rate up. Maintaining a healthy weight is a crucial one. If you drink alcohol, then drink in moderation. Getting adequate sleep, so 7 to 8 hours or 7.5 even to 8 hours of uninterrupted sleep every single night is crucial. And I know I have suffered with insomnia in the past, and again, if I've had any issues with sleep, I use our CBD oil Calm, and it's absolutely phenomenal at helping me to get a really good solid night's sleep. And number 7, yoga, meditation, mindfulness, kind of incorporating those practices daily. And then also finally taking those steps to avoid infections, such as washing our hands regularly and consistently and properly as well. So there you have it. I hope you found the information in here helpful. I hope that you can take elements of it away and start to integrate it into your own life. I'm going to be doing a newsletter as well with all this information in there. So if you're not on my mailing list and you want a copy of the newsletter, then please just email me, info@inner-health-clinic.co.uk, and I will add you to the mailing list. And yeah, just remember, just now is your opportunity. You know, you can take this information and move forward with it to really support your health. And then finally, next Monday at 12 o'clock, I'm going to do a live on our amazing gut transformation program. So really looking forward to that. Hope as many of you will be able to join me as possible. And thank you for everyone who has, so just kind of like looking now at the chat. Thank you for everyone who